the following orders are hereby issued. 1. The applications for conservatory orders are hereby disallowed. 2. The conservatory orders issued on 18th of October 2024 in Keregoya High Court E015/2024 are hereby discharged and or set aside. Costs of these applications shall be in course. We grant leave for appeal, type proceedings, and certified copies of this ruling to be availed to parties at cost or as it may be. We will mention this matter on 7th of November 2024 at 2 p.m. in the open court. This ruling shall forthwith be uploaded in the court tracking system. That is the ruling of the court.
Welcome back to our channel, ladies and gentlemen. The impeachment motion and the judicial process that Rigathi Gachagua is pursuing is not ended yet. The ruling only set aside the conservatory orders that had been pending that blocked the nominee Kithure Kindiki from being sworn in. And that means that William Ruto has got the leeway to swear in Kithure Kindiki. However, the case will proceed because Rigathi still has a case at the Court of Appeal that was adjourned, and of course the hearing is still continuing. The question that I want to ask you, do you think Rigathi Gachagua has a chance, considering that Kithure Kindiki could be sworn in as soon as tomorrow, so that as he will be doing the case, they will be doing this case against a president and a sworn-in president who will go and assume that office. Remember, his employees had been sent home on compulsory leave. His security had been taken away. He's got just a few. And so if Kithure Kindiki will be sworn in, he will assume office and he will be the deputy president. So I don't know the title that Gachagua is going to use, because once the conservatory orders were lifted, I believe now he officially assumes the term, the former deputy president. It is going to be very difficult if you ask me. And many a times we have been making noise about the judicial capture. And I remember even after the 2022 elections, we were demanding that that server be opened. We called out Madam Koome for the non-judicial language that she used, like hot air, wild goose chase. Some did not understand. If there is one person who has exposed the judicial capture even more, is Rigathi Gachagua himself. And if there is one person who will test the bitterness of the Supreme Court, because this case might end up at the Supreme Court, it is Rigathi Gachagua himself. Many experts feel that this was a judicial coup. And I want us to read something here. Someone is writing something that public auction of justice. And he says, this ruling has set the shame of Kenya as a laughing stock. Senate passes an impeachment resolution at midnight. A vacancy is gazetted in the dead of the night. The president makes a nomination same night and notifies EACC, IEBC, KRA, and other clearing agencies who go on and sit on the same dead of the night and clear a man who by early following morning is vetted and voted for appointment without input of public participation by the National Assembly, which had already been prompted to sit on a day they would normally be under adjournment. What superb efficiency. A record 6 hours for a process that the Constitution had contemplated would take at least 74 days. And a court of competent jurisdiction can't see through the intrigues. Bad day for justice. So this guy is only but adding his voice that we have created a precedent where we are not going to guard and protect our constitution. There's something that he ends with that and a court of competent jurisdiction can't see through the intrigues. Bad day for justice. If you ask me, it did start today. You know, when people were campaigning in 2022, William Ruto had seen a loophole that had been left by the former president, Uhuru Kenyatta. Uhuru had fallen out with the judiciary when Maraga nullified the election, and William Ruto was at the forefront pushing, and it created an enmity between the presidency, the executive arm of the government, and the judiciary. And Uhuru Kenyatta, I believe, was being pushed by Ruto, decided, in fact, he declined to appoint certain judges and even threatened to curtail the amount of money that was going to the judiciary, thereby widening their rift. So when they were campaigning, there was already a rift between the presidency, and the judiciary. William Ruto captured on this and promised them that when I take over, I'm going to appoint all the judges. I'm going to add you more money for efficient performance of their duties. And the judiciary aligned themselves to William Samoei Ruto. That is why when the BBI went to the court, Uhuru was an enemy, and William Ruto had endeared himself to the judiciary. And so they gave William Ruto what he wanted. So when William Ruto had negotiated for power with the Western machinations and they had structured everything, they went ahead and gave William Ruto victory during the presidential case. And that has continued. In fact, at the Supreme Court level, though I think the Supreme Court and William Ruto is the same thing, because even recently, after the High Court and the Court of Appeal tried to thwart the legitimacy of the Finance Bill 2023, the Supreme Court gave it green light and gave William Ruto his victory. So this did not start today. The only problem is, in Kenya, when the shoe is on one side and you are comfortable, you don't accept that things are bad. That is the same thing that happened to Rigathi Gachagua. When people were complaining that the courts had sided with them against all odds, he was saying that Raila lost fair and square. Today, they have seen the very, very thing that we have been making noise about. You know, I come from a school of thought that we should protect our constitution regardless of who is in the office. Like in this sense, I know there are many people who don't like Rigathi Gachagua because he used to talk ill, he used to attack the opposition, he used to say, you know, if anyone goes to the street during the Azimio protest, he will deal with them. You know, there was a lot of things. I remember him saying that the only discussion they would have with Raila Amolo Odinga is how Raila would exit politics and go to Bond. And it was very, very, you know, cruel. You would feel that it was heartless. Even though people don't like him because of such tendencies, we are looking at the office of the deputy president, not Rigathi Gachagua. And I'm from that school of thought that we need to protect our constitution so that tomorrow Gachagua won't be in that office, Kithure won't be there, Ruto and Raila won't be there. Maybe it's you who is watching this, or your son or daughter, who will be in that office. Because people will be in those offices that they will go. But how protected are our offices? That is what I've been talking about. Now, the Constitution gave us 74 days to clear all these processes. But we are told that the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission, Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission, Kenya Revenue Authority, and all the other clearing agencies were called at night and they cleared Kithure Kindiki. You know, sometimes, let me tell you, even if we have good intention in doing some of these things, the manner in which they are done is very suspicious. Just like the Adani deal. Some people are saying that maybe Adani deal is not bad if it was negotiated in a proper manner. But when they are signing things in a very clandestine manner, we leave it to a Menya who bumps into some papers, documents, and send it back to the Kisii Senator Richard Onyonka and is the whistleblower, automatically we become suspicious that, someone wants to, eat. If William Ruto was very sure that the process is clean, there was nothing, that would bar us from just taking time. Something about judicial cases is that it should be done in a proper manner so that even after the final verdict, the winner and the loser should go home satisfied and content that the process was followed, or the law was followed to the letter. But in this sense, even if Rigathi Gachagua is going home, he's going home a dissatisfied manner. Many people are saying this, ladies and gentlemen, that Rigathi should resign. If he resigns, this is going to give him his benefits. He can get a chance of contesting next time. Otherwise, the manner in which things are being rushed and the way William Ruto is getting victory for every case that he has against anyone in court only means one thing, that he's going to lose this. He doesn't stand a chance in this. If anything, when he complained that the Deputy Chief Justice does not have the right to constitute the bench, he was overruled. When he went and said that some of these judges had got closeness with the president, who is part of this case, he was overruled. And so these are signs and symptoms that will tell him that he will lose. By the end of the day, Rigathi has learned the lessons. And I know maybe moving forward, Rigathi would know, and any other person who is supporting Rigathi here, that we need to look beyond the people in independent institutions and in public offices and protect the sanctity of those offices. I know people who really told Raila off that you must respect the decision of the court. Can they say the same now, that Rigathi Gachagua should respect the decision of the court? Blatantly, when you realize that some of these proceedings have been breached, there are things that should have been known. Like, why do it within 6 hours when we have 74 hours, according to the Constitution? And so, ladies and gentlemen, Kenya is always a good example. When Maraga nullified the 2017 elections, people wondered, and some came for benchmarking. They wondered how, what the audacity, where Maraga got the audacity to nullify an election pitting an immediate president who is seeking a re-election against others, and he got the guts to nullify that election. And Maraga simply said that we need to look at the sanctity of our constitution and follow it to the letter. Rigathi has exposed the rot in the judiciary. We've always known it. If this is not enough, someone just said, you didn't speak because you are not Rigathi Gachagua. You didn't speak because you are not Mount Kenya. Tomorrow, no one will speak for you because they shall have all gone. I don't know what to think, but the judicial capture has been exposed here.